Hello and welcome to another episode of Style It Up, where we take you inside the fashion world of New England. I'm your host, Olga Medvedev. We're dedicating today's show to local fashion photographers. They play a huge role in the fashion industry, and we invited a few of them to give us the details of this exciting world. Let's start the show. Our first guest has been on Style It Up before, and we are thrilled to have her back. Shannon Michelle is a photographer who has been extremely busy since we last saw her. She's always working to perfect her skills and stay on top of the photography game. She has been a repeat guest at New York's Fashion Week at Lincoln Center, which is a huge accomplishment. She also has her photography business, which has an interesting side focus on boudoir. She's going to tell us all about that. And recently, she launched a new website with Fashion Foto Wire. I have to say the website is stunning. I saw it and I'm super impressed. So please welcome Shannon Michelle of Shannon Michelle Photography. Shannon, thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely.
It's such a pleasure. It's such a great to see you too. I have to say it's been quite a while since we saw each other.
Yeah, too long.
3 years, 2 years?
Yeah.
Irrelevant. Anyway, what have you been up to?
I've been continuing working on the boudoir stuff, and we have created a new boutique line with specific products to just our boudoir clients. We've expanded to Newport as well as New York, which, you know, we've already been in New York shooting runways, so now we're doing boudoir as well. And then Fashion Foto Wire is my new website, which I'm really excited about.
So I saw the website, and I was just blown away. First of all, you look amazing.
Thank you.
You look like the woman from Devil Wears Prada.
Thank you. My assistant will love that.
Yeah, very, very intimidating, I have to say. But so tell me about the website and how it came about and exactly what went into it.
Yeah, so I've been shooting this is going to be my 7th season in September. And I started shooting runway actually as a favor to a friend that I had not worked with, and I didn't think I was going to like it, and I absolutely loved it. And then I realized that there was no real place that design students or buyers or stylists could go and view full collections. I would watch, stylists literally sit there with stacks of lookbooks, and I thought, why can't they just go to one place to get all of the lookbooks? So that's kind of where the idea stemmed from. From there, it's just grown, and we're now a complete fashion library where people can go and view thousands of runway looks for free.
So basically, it's just kind of a database or a catalog, really, of everybody's
It's
work.
very simple to use. You can go online, you can search by designer, color, season. Our main goal is to keep it very simple. Our tagline is no fuss, just fashion. We really felt like a lot of the other sites are bombarded with ads and lengthy editorial content, and we wanted just the opposite. Being a photographer, and I think a lot of artists as well, are very visual people, so for us it was really important to keep the simplicity of it.
It is very visually stimulating, I have to say. So exactly who is this website geared for?
At the moment, it's for fashion design students, stylists, buyers, really anybody who loves fashion and who wants to view the images, who really want like an inside look, a front row look at New York Fashion Week. So many times you go and you see the magazines and they just have 1 or 2 images, and those are usually just images, that the buyers picked up, and they want you to see those few collections. But what's really important to us is designer integrity and showing the full collection. These designers work so hard on the full collection. They're sequenced in a very specific manner, and we really want to do them a service and kind of show their full collections as they wanted it to be seen. So you've been, how many seasons have you done at New York Fashion Week? This September will be my 7th season.
7th season. So you've probably met an immense amount of people who have just inspired you along the way.
Yeah.
What has that been like, working with these amazing photographers and people that are at the front rows? And
It's so great. There's just like a variety of people, so it's so fun. There's actually, there are companies that send full teams, and then there are smaller individual teams. And it's funny because we've almost, throughout the years, created such a strong relationship and a bond that we all help each other out. And so we've almost created like this team of independents. And we all get together twice a year. We joke that it's like camp. It's like summer camp. And the security guards are our counselors. Like, we basically live together for a full week, 8 days straight, 15 hours a day. It's ridiculous. Well, so we really get to know each other, and we build these bonds, and it's just been great to be able to network, with the International Press Corps and people from all over the world, and get together twice a year and revisit and celebrate fashion.
That's pretty great. So does the competitive side kind of go out the window for the time being, and everybody just bands together?
For me, it does.
Yeah.
I don't think that that's probably true for everyone. There's definitely still some fights. We all get temperamental. It's exhausting. It wears on you, but at the end of the day, I think we all pretty much work well together.
That's pretty great. And, you know, we talked about this when you were just starting to kind of go out. We've known each other for a long time.
Yeah, this project has been in the back of my head for a few years now, but I really wanted to make sure that we had everything in place to launch it to be successfoto.
I'm so happy for you. I'm so proud of you. I really am. You've come such a long way.
Thank you.
So for our viewers, tell us, where do we learn more about Foto Wire and just what the website is?
Sure, so you can go to fashionphotowire.com, and it is photo with an F, so it's fashion, F-O-T-O, wire.com.
And then you also have shannonmichellephotography.com, or is that no longer?
Oh, no, absolutely. For my boudoir services, it's shannon-michelle.com.
Well, that's good to know because, you know, just in case somebody's feeling, Valentine's Day is, I don't know, what, 5-6 months away?
Yeah.
Yeah? Oh,
Christmas,
right around the
wedding
corner.
gifts, anniversaries, just for fun.
Yeah, just for fun. You know,
hey,
why
you're
not?
Getting married, right?
Yeah, I am.
Oh.
I guess while I'm still young, I'll
way.
give you a call. But you'll be joining us later for our panel. Yes. So, you know, don't go anywhere. We have a great panel coming up with other local photographers, and we're just going to talk shop, and they'll give us the inside scoop. So stay with us here on Style It Up.
Mom, can I have $1? Yeah, it's right. I think my purse is upstairs on the bed. It's not here. Check the dining room. No. What about your sister's room? It's not there either. The upstairs closet? The downstairs closet? There are no more closets.
Moms everywhere are finding ways to keep kids active and healthy. Get ideas, get involved, get going at letsmove.gov.
Turning a 20-foot wall into a canvas takes vision. So we're getting into college. I've got what it takes. So do you.
Are you on Facebook? Well, so is Style It Up. Join our fan page and get the latest scoop on Style It Up. Chat with us about all things fashion and find out when we're airing new episodes. Just go to facebook.com, search Style It Up, like us, and you're done. Thanks for joining, and we'll see you on Facebook. Every designer has something that they are recognized for. Jimmy has his shoes, Louis has his bags, and Victoria, well, she's got her secrets. But there's a designer who is synonymous with his one-of-a-kind accessory, the scarf. That designer is Hermes. Though his collection includes famous handbags, perfumes, and clothing, it's his intricate scarves that are sought after by savvy fashionistas worldwide. What makes Hermes different is the company's unconventional rise to haute couture status. The company was founded by Thierry Hermes in 1837. Hermes started out as a saddlery company, creating fine riding equipment for noblemen and royalty. Thus, Hermes' logo became the horse and carriage. Hermes then ventured into designing accessories. In 1928, Hermes introduced their one-of-a-kind handmade masterpiece, the silk scarf. The scarves were such a hit that in 1937, a scarf factory was established in Lyon. Thus, women worldwide began their quest for the silk accessory, paying very high prices. So what is it about the scarf that makes it so sought after? Well, for starters, it's very hard to get your hands on one. Only 2 scarf collections are released per year. Also, every single Hermes scarf is hand-printed using multiple silk screens, and the hems are all hand-stitched. Each scarf is unique but has to follow certain specific guidelines. A scarf must measure 90 centimeters square and weigh 65 grams and has to be woven from a silk of 250 mulberry moth cocoons. Did I mention these scarves are very expensive? Well, a new Hermes design can set you back $320. That's quite an investment for a scarf. Scarf owners have gotten very creative about sporting these works of art. Women wear them around the neck, as a headscarf, halters, or deck out their expensive Hermes bags. Princess Grace Kelly used her scarf as a sling for a broken arm. So resourceful. Devoted fans of their Hermes scarf include Queen Elizabeth II, Audrey Hepburn, and the famous Jackie O. Today's famous gals include Sarah Jessica Parker, Hillary Clinton, and Madonna. They've all been photographed wearing the Hermes scarf. Since 1937, Hermes has produced over 25,000 designs. Today, an Hermes scarf is sold somewhere in the world every 25 seconds. That is a lot of warm necks. Hermes is also very well known for his handbags like the Birkin and the Kelly bag, named of course after Grace Kelly. They also produce neckties made from the same fine silk as used in the scarves, perfumes, and clothing. But there's nothing out there quite like this exclusive accessory that makes Hermes fashion so unique. Now that is a lot of power for 60 grams of silk. For Pave the Runway, I'm Olga Medvedev.
Pave the Runway features designers of the past and present who have made a major contribution to the fashion industry today and for the future.
Welcome back to Style It Up. I'm your host, Olga Medvedev. I'm here with local fashion photographers who are becoming quite noted in Boston for their creativity and amazing work. Joining our panel today is Shannon Michelle, of course. Thank you so much for joining us on such a short notice. We're thrilled to have you back. We also have Todd Lee. He is a staff photographer for Style Weekly in Providence. He does multiple publications and fashion events. He's very involved with Boston Fashion Week and has become quite recognizable in this competitive industry. Here to share his insight. Thank you so much, Todd, for being with us. And finally, this is Evgenia Eliseeva of Eve Photography. Born and raised in St. Petersburg, she's also a dancer. As an events photographer, she's photographed celebrities including Christopher Walken, Natalie Portman, and Bill Clinton, just to name a few. Her work has been published in multiple locations, and as a fellow Russian woman, I'm very proud of you, and I'm thrilled to have you here. Welcome, panel. Thank you so much for joining us. So let's talk fashion photography. How is it different from other forms of photography? And Shannon, I'll just start with you.
Okay. I don't shoot a lot of portraits for what, sorry, but from what I understand, you know, portraits, it's more about relationships and connections and, you know, kind of more candid. I think that the fun part about fashion is that you get to really create whatever's in your head. There's no limitations whatsoever. You know, your imagination is whatever you can come up with, you can actually create it. So working with a team of people to create one idea and concept is just so much fun to see it from just the idea to the final product with hair, makeup, wardrobe, styling, all those things, models, it's not just photographers, it's a team of people that really make it happen.
It's a production.
It sure is.
Todd, any thoughts?
Well, I think I really agree with the point that Shannon made in terms of the team aspect of fashion photography. I know when you're out on an assignment in terms of just covering a story or doing a portrait, as you were talking about, it's really mainly up to you as a photographer, but makeup is so crucial in fashion photography, the stylist. You really are just one component of a whole team of people striving for the same thing, and you know, if any of those one component is off or is you know, really, really good, it makes a huge difference.
So for you, you're kind of on a different side of it. You're more of an events photographer, but so you deal more with live shots.
Yes, but I think in terms of fashion photography, I also love working with a designer and looking at the clothes and then making the ideas come to life through the pictures, and it's just amazing, especially when you work in different locations or lighting, and the fabric comes to life, and it's amazing.
So what separates you from other local photographers in the area?
Well, I think in a lot of ways it's still developing. I think I've probably been shooting a little less than the two ladies on the panel, but in terms of the years that I've shot. But I think one of the things is I really try to shoot things from different perspectives, both in terms of things like angles, but also just from different kinds of styles, because I think I'm still trying to find sort of my voice within photography and what are the things that make mine more distinct.
And more of a focus. Well, for you, you're more of an artist, a dancer, so that definitely has a creativity aspect to it. Does that translate in your work at all? Or?
Yes, it absolutely translates. And what I also think, what's different about me is my personality, because I'm very bubbly. I'm not afraid to make fun of myself, to be a clown. And I think what's really important is to make a person feel really comfortable. As a dancer, I really feel the body, and doing Brazilian samba or hip hop, it's just so much movement, and I can really incorporate it into my photo shoots. So, and I think it's very easy for me to see where the person is standing incorrectly, or or when I shoot, I move and they repeat my moves. So it's very easy. We don't even have to say anything sometimes. So
for you, Shannon, I mean, you do it all. You do your boudoir, you do as well as, you know, action shots, and also runway. Talk a little bit about runway and how that differs, and how you can, you know, really grasp that and really make fashion work as it's happening in action.
As far as runway, I feel like it's a little bit like shooting sports. It's very fast paced. Anything can happen, and you're kind of usually in a very uncomfortable position, being surrounded. Like literally, I'll have a lens right here shooting by me, and I will be standing on a pelican case that's wobbly, and I have one foot here and one foot there, and literally balancing on my monopod. It's quite barbaric at times, but it makes it interesting, makes it fun. It was honestly the first, when I started shooting runway, I had kind of fell into a pattern, like with boudoir and my studio stuff, and I could do that with my eyes closed. You know, it wasn't very challenging. It was the first time in a really long time that I felt challenged again. And it makes you just on the spot, and you're shooting from instinct and from, like, you know, I guess that's really what we strive for, and we shoot as artists just from gut instinct and from what we see, because you don't have time to think. You don't have time really to make those small adjustments like you would on set when you're shooting an editorial. So I think it's hurry up and wait, but then it's go, go, go. It's like, you know, 15 minutes of adrenaline.
So it becomes kind of instinct versus technique. And speaking of technique, I mean, I'm sure you've learned a lot more techniques outside of your education. Anything you care to share with the viewers? Any special techniques that you've learned over the years that you're just kind of like, you know, that made them your own when it comes to shooting?
Techniques as far as?
Well, like, I mean, as far as just photography in general, or, you know, a way to bring out the best in your
Sure. So if you're just like at home with your point and shoot camera, what I suggest is when you go to take your picture and then really look at it and see what in the frame is distracting. A lot of times you can just like zoom in and cut out all the other stuff. So you may have like a pole coming out of your head, you may have like a trash bag over there, and you don't notice it because you're looking at the person. So really look around that frame and then go ahead and try a second one. I can guarantee you the second one's going to come out a lot better.
Anyone want to chime into that? Anything you've learned?
I had just sort of a simple sort of thing that people can do at home is really play around with the angles that you shoot people from. So, for example, one of the things is that sort of similar to how you wear certain clothes to make you seem slimmer, if someone is sort of on the portly side or is a little shorter than they would like to appear, you shoot them from below or shoot them from an angle that emphasizes their length. And, you know, by the same token, if someone has a little extra in the chin, you may want to shoot them from the top.
Makes sense. And do you want to add anything?
I think for me, music helps a lot. When I turn on the music, it can be just an iPhone with me in the pocket, but I always make sure that they're very comfortable. And sometimes I tell them, I'm just adjusting the light. In the meantime, I'm shooting already, and talking to them about their family, about their kids, about just anything, about their hobbies. Just try to find out what they're passionate about, so they open up and really bring out the personality. Also, I've taken so many workshops. One of my inspirations is Jerry Gionas, Australian photographer, and he always
local, or
he's all over the world, but he's in LA and in Melbourne, Australia.
Oh, nice.
So I highly recommend everybody to take his workshops. I did it 3 times, and once I had to be a model in Paris, and you learn how to be on the other side of the camera. So I think that's one of the other things, is to practice and practice and practice, and to understand what it's like to be
Just
a
know the
model.
art. Yeah, understand
Yes,
it.
and he always taught us to look for the light, to look for the direction of the light, because even in the most ugliest locations, you can turn ordinary into extraordinary. So, and then if you don't like it, crop it. If you can't crop it, don't shoot it at all.
Nice. I like it. Speaking of cropping and editing, let's talk about how digital editing and Photoshop has changed this industry and just photography as a whole, and what makes it still believable. What, you know, when people walk away from looking at something that has been Photoshopped to death or to life, I don't know, whichever way you want to. How do you make photography still believable, and how do you make people still love it? Shannon?
I think I agree with you when you're talking about Photoshop to death. It's unfortunately taken a real turn for the worse at times. I think that Photoshop is a great tool, but it needs to be just a tool. It can't be the only source. I think that to make photography great, you need to really do your best and understand your camera settings. People just get these digital point and shoots and they just press the button, press another button, and hope it comes out. But, you know, coming from the day of film myself, I know exactly why I do what I do when I'm shooting. And so I think that to get it in camera as best as possible is very important. And then just use Photoshop to kind of, you know, make a nice little treatment. You know, I don't care for all of these, they have like the blue tones, you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
And just
Different
really
actions.
Different actions, yeah. And like over Photoshopping, it destroys it. It's just,
So
it
keep it
screams
to a
amateur.
minimum. Yeah. So just a couple of quick thoughts from you, Todd.
Yeah, I generally agree with some of the things Shannon said. I think the actual shot in camera is really important.
Yeah.
And you know, one of the things too is that I think, well, the good thing about having digital photography being accessible to just about everything is that it sort of broadened the number of people who do photography. The bad thing is that I think a lot of times people have a lot of trouble distinguishing what's good from what's bad. And
Yeah.
to some extent, Photoshop hides some of that, but I think, you
So know your good from your bad.
Yeah.
So quickly, before we wrap up this panel, just one quick thought on if anybody wants to pursue this wonderful career. Advice?
Good equipment.
Good equipment. You?
Follow your passion.
Follow your passion and find your niche, right? Your little thing that kind of your focus. Yeah, absolutely. And Shannon?
Learn as much as you can. Workshops, seminars, online classes, they're all available to you. You don't have to go to school full time. You can really, you know, take it into your own hands and go from there.
Okay, great. And then thank you so much for joining us, and we'll have information on each of you posted at the end of the show. Unfortunately, we are out of time for today. I want to thank my wonderful panel, Shannon, Todd, and Evgenia. And as always, I want to thank all of you for watching. I just wanted to leave you with one final quote before we go from photographer Matt Hardy. Beauty can be seen in all things. Seeing and composing the beauty is what separates the snapshot from the photograph. I'm Olga Medvedev. Until next time, we'll see you on Style It Up.